G5 teams be nervous? I think G5 teams currently live in a perpetual state of nervousness about what this means for them down the line. It's just what they have to deal with. I think most of their athletic departments, and especially the ones we've talked to, are realistic about what their future is. They just have to maximize what they can for whatever is going to happen, and really have to hope that that playoff expands and can include them somehow.
Yeah, the playoff. Yeah, I mean, you were talking about the playoff. That's obviously a huge factor in everything moving forward. I mean, it's going to be one of the major reasons why things do or do not happen is whatever that playoff ends up looking like. And obviously that's why you've seen this strategery, for lack of a better term, kind of incorporated over the last few weeks since media days died down. I don't think it was any coincidence that Kevin Warren suddenly just has a change of opinion on the playoffs suddenly. And, you know, we know that Sankey's made his comments and everybody's got their own opinions. But, yeah, that playoff and how much that's now on the front burner will be very interesting to see. And, yeah, until we kind of see that, it's hard to really know full well what to feel as a G5. And I also think it just kind of depends on what G5 we're talking about, because there's very different categories of G5s. You know, there are some that are brand new. So, yeah, they have no chance. Sam Houston State's not getting into
the Big Sky's not.
Sorry, but you're not going anywhere really. But yeah, I mean, some of those others that have had hopes, like a Boise State, for example, or a San Diego State, and some of those schools. I don't know. I don't know what to think, because it's just. It's a tough call for me to make right now. I mean, yeah, in theory, the Pac-12, I guess, could look to expand here, but what certainty do you really have these next few years? What exactly does the Big Ten want to do? What do you know about what they want to do? I need to really kind of just soak in more info on, everything that's been said so far and kind of get a better idea of what could be that next domino to fall. But I don't know. I think if you're some G5 teams, you're not nervous at all, because there's nothing to really be nervous about. Nothing's going to change for you one way or the other due to this. If you're on the cusp G5s, I guess I'd be a little bit nervous being a Boise State.
Well, and look, I'd be a little bit nervous if I was a team who, like Old Dominion or Tarleton, who's made the commitment to stepping up into FBS football.
Right.
Like, what does this mean for me now? Like, after we've made this decision, things have changed. You've got to react to a different plan, and not that they would ever be in the playoff anyway. But you've got schools on the back end of that, like Boise State's on the one extreme where they're knocking on the door. Tarleton never will, but they also, Old Dominion never will probably. James Madison never will probably. But they've made the commitment to grow. But, is it going to be worth it in the long run?
Yeah, but what are your expectations? I mean, what were you planning on getting? Yeah. I mean, if you made those moves to become Division I, I don't think you did that in mind that you're suddenly going to be competing with Alabama. You know, I mean, you were going to be towards the bottom of the G5s anyways. And so I don't think that it probably even crossed your mind at James Madison that you were going to still be a part of whatever upper echelon there is. And I guess it depends on the eye of the beholder of what they think they'll be missing out on. Do you feel like you're going to be missing out on some Super League thing that just doesn't include you? Or do you feel like you're going to be missing out on what? I mean, access, I guess. If that's what you're scared of, then, yeah, I'd be scared about playoff access until I see a new playoff deal. But scared of a Super League? No, you're never going to be a part of it anyways. For the Power 5 schools, though, I mean, I do think that a lot of them have to sit there and look in the mirror and try to figure out what the future looks like, especially those out west and to the Big 12 to a lesser extent. So, yeah, I mean, again, kudos to Kevin Warren and the Big 10 for finally completing this long talked-about deal. It seemed like it was just never going to finally come to a conclusion. I mean, it inevitably was, but it just felt like we kept talking about it for so long. So it's great to see it today. It's great to know, too, by seeing it that, yeah, I mean, it's kind of what we expected in terms of the money, and that it's not in any way, shape, or form closing the door on expansion. So for those in Eugene or those in Seattle that have hopes that one day they're going to be playing, Michigan and USC and Ohio State, I think those dreams are still alive. But as far as any sort of a timetable, I don't know that that's very clear.
I don't think that's changed very much at all. With today's news now.